Hey everybody, it's Pax. Welcome back to some more Netrunner, but this time we're looking at the Netrunner Reboot Project by TheBigBoy, or Abram as you might know him. So this is a total reconsideration of the original printed Fantasy Flight Games Netrunner game. And what he's gone and done is he has, as it says here, rebalanced a large number of cards using a modern understanding of the game and the power of hindsight to create a version of Netrunner that is in the greatest form that could have been. Now, a little grandiose there, maybe, Abram. Tone it down a little, buddy. I find this really fun. It's an awesome format. I'll take a look at a couple of these previews. We'll take a look at them. As you'll see here, you're going to notice some changes, like Haas Engineering the Futures down to 10 influence. Accelerated Beta Test is only looking at the top 2 cards of R&D. Architect's only looking at the top 4 cards. Some really strong cards getting tuned down a little bit. On the other hand, Hudson 1.0. This used to say you can't access more than one card during this run. So all of a sudden, this is actually stopping successful accesses. Heimdall, I believe this is either a little stronger or a little cheaper. I don't remember which. Fenris, stronger. Green level clearance, extra card. Haas Biorid, stronger together. Big influence boost and reduced card requirement. Next design, 17. So it's little numerical changes like that. And as we go through, I'm just going to quickly buzz through these instead of listing off all the changes again. Maybe I'll note some ones like Nisei Division. After the Psy game, you gain 2 instead of 1, so it's a lot more economical for you. Caprice is up to 3. Future Perfect, limit once per deck. But as you go through, you'll notice a lot of big changes. Posted bounties at 3-2 now, so Wayland has access to a big 3-2 suite right off the bat. The game currently is balanced up to has rebalanced up to Order and Chaos, including Order and Chaos. So I'll hop in this sheet here. It's got kind of a project description, an FAQ for some common questions, and a card pool summary of changes for the runners and the corps. Like I said, through Order and Chaos, boom. The red ones in here are nerfs. The green ones in here are boosts. Almost exclusively, boosts are numerical in nature. Sometimes the nerfs are not numerical in nature. So for example, Clot removes from game instead of trashing when it's purged. Gang Sign is limit once per deck. Leela, the corp, chooses which card is getting bounced. Power Tap is unique. Things like that. And then you've got the same list here for the corp. And then they're also broken down by their cycle. In addition to this, there's a fully functional, I don't even know if I'm logged in right now, but there's a fully functional Netrunner DB clone where you can build decks that I believe has the updated cards, values, and everything like that, right? Levy AR 5/5. What's one that's updated in this deck? Brain Chip costs 1, for instance. So when you're on here, you see all the changes. It makes it really easy to kind of take a look at what's going on. And furthermore, there's a JNet lobby for it. So it's really easy to just come in. I don't know if they still do. They had a format called Jumpstart where you could just have a randomly shoved together deck that was kind of what do you say, like algorithmically put together as being relatively fair with like pods of cards. And so that was a really popular little thing for a while. But what we're doing right now is a pre-constructed league. So what Abram has done is he's created a bunch of basic decks, a couple for each faction, and a brief description of how you get going with them. So today, I'm going to be playing Prepaid Kate, because I love Prepaid Kate. And I'm going to be playing Nisei Division, because I love that change to Nisei Division. And let's just quickly run through the deck list, and then we'll get right into the game. So Kate, I believe she's lost a link. It's pretty much the only change. A lot of this stuff is the same. Like a great deal of this is the same as it is. The big things, Astrolabe costs 2 to install. Where's the other one? Same old thing, costs 1 to install. And then Parasite is 3 to install. Clot removes from game when it's purged. And the other big one is Cyber Cipher. No, it's Cerebrus. Lady costs 6 to install. So mostly this deck is slowed down a little bit by a couple of little nickel and dimings. But otherwise, this is just Prepaid Kate. And now when we look at the Nisei Division deck, I think this one has a fair amount more changes. Like I said, Nisei Division is gaining 2 per Psy game, and that's pretty impressive. Corporate War here has a lower threshold for credits required in your pool when you score to gain 7. You get a single Feudal, which I believe is the same. Single Global Food Initiate, the same. Nisei Mark IIs. The whole point of this deck is to get these Nisei 2s out in front of a Caprice. And a single Future Perfect, because it's limit once per deck. And I think that that's a really good change for kind of forcing a bit of diversity in what Jinteki is doing. 3 J-Hows. J-How is only 2 to trash in this format. For the most part, these are all the same, I believe. Yep. I don't think the numbers on Ash are any different. Caprice is a little more expensive. Snowflake has had a single strength increase. Wall of Thorns has had some res cost decrease. I think the rest of these are the same. I don't remember what Assassin is. These traces might be a bit stronger. I don't remember. And Tsurugi's 1 less to res. So let's just hop right into the game, and we'll get going.
All right. Let's load up the prepaid gates. Good luck, have fun. Let's see what Skippin is playing. Oh, I should have left the tab open for the decks. Uh-oh, didn't think about that. That's okay. I guess we'll have to play a little blind. No, I'm just joking. I'll pull up the decks here. We're up against Spark Agency. Ooh, Spark Agency. So that's an interesting one, I think. Spark definitely had some changes to it. I don't remember if the 17 influence is different. The Astro scripts say you can place a token on a card that can be advanced that was not installed this turn, so you can't like Astro Train out quite so crazily. And mulligan that. Ooh, maybe I should have kept it. But anyways, Beal's kind of normal. Branding team is at 3-2 now. Your launch campaigns are basically the same. Where's the other stuff that matters? The product placement is there. This is an Ash, Sand, Sand. Okay, this is kind of a normal list. This is a very normal list. Okay. We'll start the game. And what was the objective on this one? Keep the runner guessing with 3-2s and upgrades in an annoying server. Well, that's like the antithesis of prepaid gate. So we'll see how that goes. Looks like my volume here is not working. So, yeah, interesting. But I'm happy to waste some time, I think. So what I might do is just poke at HQ a little bit. Pop up. Oops. Green level clearance. Okay, interesting. Let me double check my settings for my volume. Ooh. Yeah, we'll just leave the sounds off. That's fine. I'll take a draw. And I think I'll just pop this Lucky Find now to be a bit happier of a credit total going into next turn. In case I do have to start doing some real pokes. Clot RFGs when you purge. I'll have to remember that. Yep, I will have to remember that. So I could Parasite that pop-up, but I feel like that's a pretty big waste. Probably need that. Let me think. Well, you know, I may as well take a look at the... A wrap would be nice to pop up, but again, once a Fracture's in play, it just dies instantly. So it's probably going to be useful for like destroying Assassin and Toll Booth, stuff like that later. Jackson's getting played. Double draw. Probably just trying to get any... Yeah, get anything going at all. So what I'll do is I'll take a draw, dirty laundry the archives if a couple things get discarded. Jackson Howard's also 2 to trash in this one. So let's take a card draw. Play the prepaid. Nice. We'll dirty laundry the archives. Okay. I'll keep poking it at HQ. Oops. Misclick. Ash. Yeah, gotta trash that. It's only the one copy. It's only the one copy. So, I think that that's a valuable trash, even if just to make sure that the Jackson is returning that. He's probably happy to return his sweeps in a campaign launch. So I'll probably just like initiate a run here to force him to use it if he doesn't toss a bunch of stuff into the archives. I'm getting much more tempted to just slap the parasite down there. Interesting. Okay. So what's the upgrade? It's a product placement, it's a Sand City grid, it's a Cyberdex virus suite. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw, pop the parasite onto that, and then just start running HQ very aggressively. Probably not. I would have thought they'd have drawn an agenda by now with 10 agendas. But I guess the global food... Yeah, the global food in the 15 minutes is kind of enough of a lower density that's not outrageous. But, yeah, see, they're trying to get 1. They're trying to get 1 and then stop. And then start trying to score it in the server. So I think... Okay, so now we're looking at definitely a Sand City grid and a product placement. Okay. So, I think that I need to be doing something else. So, we're going to use this with that. One credit short of the sure gamble, of course. Gotta love that. I think I'm just going to have to accept that an agenda is going to get scored over this Jackson. For a bit more of a long-term play, which I hate tremendously. But it's okay. It's okay. This is more about stopping a wrap on R&D or on the server. Sweeps, Archangel, and Ash, yeah. Ash was definitely going into R&D. Here's the agenda score. 1, 2, score a Astro. Okay, so we're going to draw a card. Gaining buck with symmetrical. We'll gain a credit. We will $$ to play the sure gamble. And we will just run HQ once. Cyberdex Virus Suite. We will pay 1 to trash that. draw a card. I have to go trash that. So I need to go see what's in front of this. If I dilly-dally any longer, then I'm just buggered. If it's an Eli, yeah, okay. Continue counter ice. Approach server. Okay. Pay 4 to trash. Pay 2 to trash. And then I will... Good God, this is painful. Then Astrolabe into play. What do I have in the way of clone chips or anything? I do have 3 clone chips, so I guess I can... Oops. I can afford to put something into the discard. Let's go ahead and get the Claude into the discard, I guess. Yeah, no, I know. That's what I was trying to do there. I wonder if that's giving a little bit too much away, though. If that would have been safer in my hand with them knowing that an SMC could have gotten it out whenever, versus me needing to get a clone chip into play to be able to access it at all. Not sure. It's been so long since I've played Prepaid Kate, I feel very out of my element. Green level clearance, yep. Going to find another Sand City grid, that's for sure. Ooh, that tells me... I feel like... Yeah, I hate that. Okay. Okay. Let's draw. Boom, boom for a lucky find. It's a lot of money coming their way. Let's just... What is he... What's the most dangerous thing he has? Assassin? He can afford an assassin. And I guess kind of an Archangel, but no, Archangel's not that dangerous. Is he going to go down that low to stop me running HQ once? No, probably not. Maybe. Yeah, pop up. Pass and continue. -1 credit. Access server. Yep. Okay. Did not want to pay for that. Reasonable. Getting the hell server built up. Okay. Let's get our symmetrical buck. Do I get the R&D interface into play for 3 credits? It limits what I can do next turn, but I think I'd rather do it now. Because I can quality time for 1,
have a massive hand size and have a lot more options going into my next turn. I'd love to like draw a stim hack or something, maybe an SMC. Okay, bit of a. Oh shit! What am I thinking? Okay, okay, but that's fine actually. So we'll get that clone chip into play, and let's go poke around at R&D. Just see what they've got. Start making them spend some money. Archangel. Continue to encounter. Let subs fire. Okay. Oh, I thought it was a program. Add a card to their grip. That sucks. Pass ice and continue. Continue to encounter. But he is a code gate, so I could put this Cyber Cipher out. Architect, we'll have to let all those fire as well. So now I know I need to get this Mimic and this Cyber Cipher here if I want to do a big R&D interface play. Which is a little bit of a painful lesson to have learned for only $8 on their side of the board. But it does mean that this server is a bit more vulnerable to, you know, can they actually afford to res a Sand City grid? And defend it? They do have the AstroScript token, which is stressful for me. You know, bluffing a GFI out or something like that, not fun. Yeah, that doesn't come as a huge surprise. Getting a Sand City grid back from the archives, probably. Yep. Back in the server. Okay. Pass ice and continue. Access the top card. That's a Project Beal. Okay. Not the worst thing I've ever seen. What am I going to do last click here? I've already used Kate's ability on the clone chip. Yikes. He's going to have 10 resources that he could score an agenda out of hand. If I run HQ again, it's more resources to score out of hand. But I guess he could pull it off either way. That's the Archangel that I was seeing. I hate this one face-down card in Archives as well. So I'm going to draw a card and think about what to do. Zool is a card. Cyber Cipher is a card. Let's get rid of Atman. How many? 2 architects. One of these could be an architect, and I'd hate that. Let's get rid of the Atman and the... Oh man, that's a tough choice, the Zool. Okay, first click is going to be quality time this time. Last time I lied, this time I'm telling the truth. Okay, money. Boom. Big play. The data sucker does very little for me. A same old thing, it gets me some economy stuff back. So I'd love to play that. The data sucker also
is quite useful, and I will use the data sucker and then run the archive just to check that card. And I may as well get everything else. Okay. In turn, let's get rid of the astrolabe and let's get rid of... Whew. Let's get rid of the mimic. I think that the Cyber Cipher play from hand out here onto a toll booth is probably my better thing to go on. Oh, probably an Ash. Oh no, not good. Second Astroscript. Okay, so we've got to be going now. Oh, that sucks. What can I even do at this point? This is a disgusting server. I think I kind of have to, like, sure gamble and just try and go trash that. But I don't want to suffer through it, is the problem. So maybe I play this first, and then I suffer through it. I dislike suffering through this, to be clear. I do like having this clone ship with the clot available if it's ever a thing. Oh god. What's in my deck for barrier breakers? Is it just the Inti and the lady, which is of course in my hand? Why wouldn't it be in my hand, right? Okay. Well, the nice thing is if he reses this, he doesn't have enough money to just win. So I'll just let those fire. And end the turn. Okay. So now I know that that's the Sand City grid. He's not huge on cash. Do I have time to set up an R&D thing? And if I try to do that, am I actually confident that there isn't already another agenda in HQ? And if a card gets installed here, I have to run because of the 2 Astroscripts. It could be any agenda could be scored next turn. And so an installed card in server 1 means that I have to run it. Which is scary, but unfortunately true. Install, credit, yeah. Okay, so like I said, I do have to run this. I could install the Cerberus, I could install the Cipher, I could draw with symmetrical first, or I could do like a big same old thing. But regardless, I do have to figure something out. So I feel like I play the lady for 5. The problem is the Cyber Cipher. The Inti is in here, but it's really quite weak, and I wonder if I should have put the Cyber Cipher underneath instead. And when I get through all of this, I need to have money to actually get through it too, right? So I could do like draw and a buck, install this for 5, and run with 11 credits. I could, same old thing, a sure gamble, play this, and then run with a bit more credits, maybe? The draw, unfortunately, with the self-modifying code is kind of like, am I gonna, oh, that's not the right, am I gonna draw something that I actually need? Do I even have anything left in there to get? I have like a sharpshooter. That's it. I've drawn all the rest of these. So the SMC is not actually doing a whole lot for me. So I may as well draw for a resource. Play the Cyber Cipher on server 1 and run it. Oh god, I hate this. Wish I had an extra click to click through this guy. Enigma. Counter ice. Do I break both of those, or do I just lose a click? This inty is going to be awful anyways. I have to pay like 6 to get through this one. I think, unfortunately, I want to save some money so that if I have to clone chip out a Mimic, I can actually afford to do it. And still trash the Sand City grid. Okay, pass ice and continue. Continue to encounter. -1. Match strength and fully break. Continue to encounter. Access. Boop. Pay 4 to trash. Access. Hey. Alright. Well, I'm glad that I correctly identified that that was a mandatory run. I'm a little concerned about whether or not I can ever run that again anytime soon. Like, if you just top decked an agenda, I guess I can same old sure gamble would be the play, but it's still like, Jesus Christ. Getting this other prepaid out would be really nice. Squeeze a little more value out of my next run through the deck. But yeah, see, install. And a ton of money back. Yeah. This is a position in the game you really don't want to get to if you can avoid it. How much cheaper does the server run get if I like dirty laundry here and -2 on that? Like two less, right? So it's kind of like, I didn't mean to click it. It's kind of like this gaining 7. This would be gaining 7 as well. This would be an extra click, but it would be gaining, 8 or whatever. But I failed to play this prepaid voice pad first, so I guess I'll live with this. Is there a reason that those didn't give me a chance to pay for those? Everything else. I could run this again for another -1. It's another $2, right? So I may as well access server, everything else, and then run server 1, continue to encounter, break 1 and the run, done, fire, pass, continue to encounter ice, -2, match and break, continue to encounter ice, something I can't afford. Ooh, okay, interesting. This is hateful. I don't think I can afford to trash that, and I wish I had not pressed it first. If it's a Sand City grid in the other one, then I'm buggered. If it's a product placement, it's not a big deal. And he's already got a lot of money. So I need to see what this is. Yeah, I had to do that, unfortunately. Now I think that I'm in a not great position because I do not have money to to do that again. Oops, I'll res the campaign. Yep. I love this, like, losing $2 here and there. It feels like a serious death by 1,000 cuts. Except on the economic game. Of course, I was at 0, so it wasn't a big deal, but it's still an interesting little thing going on. Yep. Yep. There we go. Okay. All good. Ugh, God. Over the launch campaign. Ah, Jesus. And the sad thing is, again, if this is a GFI, then I just lose, right? Because he can triple advance and then score it with the 2 Astros. And it's super reasonable to be 1. Like, that's not even unreasonable. So we'll draw once with this. Yeah, and then we'll cry. Yep. Don't know, but there's much else I can be doing here. We'll just install the prepaid for 1, and then we'll gain another credit. And if we lose, then I don't think I didn't have a way into that server. A stim hack would have been nice, but Alright, we'll be back very shortly with the other side. Alright. Popping in with the Nisei Division Preconstructed. Not as beautiful as my Cerebral Cast, Scorch Earth, dog shit, not good deck, but, you know, we'll play the we'll humor the Preconstructed one. Okay. kit. Noob kit. Is this a noob kit deck? Let's see what we've got. This is super reasonable, isn't it? We'd be putting a code gate on our innermost, but whatever. I'll keep that. Single lady, 2 femme, 2 Gordian, a torch, 3 magnum, 3 self-modifying, 2 astrolabe, R&D interface, personal workshops, utopia shards, and then a bunch of stuff. Yeah, that's about as noob kit as it gets, right? So, what does this even look like? What does this even look like? Start game. Code gates. Too many of them. Boom. What does she have again? Legworks, a bunch of stim hacks, and a vamp. I don't like a vamp, but a vamp doesn't land for a while. I do have... certainly I have 3 caprices, right? Like, certainly, yeah. I could lose one. But let's just pop him in front of the HQ for a bit more money, I think. No, I want to keep him in somewhere cheap. So we'll pop him on the... we'll pop the Tsurugi on the R&D. Yeah. I don't love it, but it's fine. Gotta be careful with ice placement. No further actions. Bop, bop. No further actions. Jackson Howard. Astrolabe. Good call. So we'll pop Howard into a newer boat. We will res him and take a 2-draw. A pup and a Cyberdex virus suite. Well. We'll go ahead and just make... Oh, HQ... Ooh, right, they have the vamp, though. We'll put the pup in front of Jackson. Yeah. Just make it taxing, I guess. There's no parasites or anything, so I'm not worried about destruction. And if we get our other stuff that's kind of more taxing, we can make use of it. Sure gamble. Credit, sure gamble. Okay. I'd love to. No more actions. Pop-up window. Yeah. Little do you know, I have 2. So let's draw 2. Let's pop this onto HQ. Because they're probably going to think that it's just that. Well, they might just stop and get going now, but we'll do the restructure. And we'll end our turn. She doesn't have any fast advanced tech, I don't think. No, so we'll just get rid of the Cyberdex virus suite. There are no viruses, so we will leave it. Opus. Here's the money train. Alright, we need to start scoring stuff, so let's put the pop-up out on server 1. The Caprice into server 1. And the pop-up into HQ. And that will make it so that the assassin is definitely as deadly as it can be. And they need to actually get 2 breakers out.
Because the threat's there. It's more about the threat than anything. And the nice thing is that I can res it. And the pop-up is just kind of like to dissuade a run here to check it, the Caprice. I'd love to have something else in the discard to pop Jackson and get some shuffles away. But I think I might just let this Jackson go into the discard and then reshuffle him back into my deck with another Jackson. It's a riskier play than I usually like to do, but at the same time, putting in a bunch of money, if I can score this Corporate War, it's kind of like whatever, right? Gordian. A Sarugi. Do I want him? Yeah, I'll res a Sarugi. Yeah, fuck it, I'll res a Sarugi. I'll pay $1 to deal 3 net damage. Yeah. Continue to pass. No further actions. Top card. I wouldn't be surprised if that's a hot pick, because I haven't seen any agendas. Nothing. Celebrity gift. Well, that's not happening. So we'll just install over him in server 1. Okay. We'll take a advance, and we'll do a hedge fund, so we can kind of out-economy them on the Caprice. Pop-up window in the pup will just be, like, annoying, right? A pop-up window in front of the Caprice lets me really aggressively say, I'm here and I'm going to just outspend you on these side games. Or at least it gives me the leeway to. It gives me that option. Obviously you can still spend 0 and 1 if you think you can go for it, but it's nice to brute force the 2 with Nisei Division, because you get your 2 back. It's good. It's very much an economic thing. Ooh, quality time. Okay. I do want to take a look. How much expensive ice do I actually have? I've got the Toll Booth, I've got the Sarugis, I've got the Walls of Thorns, I've got the 1 Assassin, and a couple of Lotus Fields. Getting those Wall of Thorns into positions... Whoops. I keep messing that up. Getting those Wall of Thorns into positions that are... that they're not code gates is going to be important, I think. And so I probably want to save this Enigma for, like, turning this into a real server with, like, a Wall of Thorns, Toll Booth, something else. Or maybe just, like, a Toll Booth and an Enigma, and the Wall of Thorns can be a central thing. Whichever one I see first, basically. So we'll just get a score going on. Boom! 7 credits. Corporate War. I think I can honestly say that in my entire Netrunner career, I believe I started playing the game 2 or 3 weeks before Honor and Profit dropped. It was the first time I have ever scored a Corporate War. Well, probably going to get some rips off this. I would be very surprised if there's no scores. Nisei Mark II. Okay. That's fine. So we're going to put this Snowflake out in front of this to burn that. And then we can put the Enigma out again in front to burn that. So, we'll draw a card. We will put that in front of R&D. And we will put nothing else. We will just draw another card. Okay, sweeps weeks. Do not need this much money at the moment. I need agendas in HQ instead of in R&D is what I need. So, please give them to me, deck. I would appreciate them. Ooh, it's Thursday night at time of recording. Have you been watching Wheel of Time? I've been enjoying Wheel of Time a great deal. And I believe the newest episode was live, or at least it's live in my local time about 2 hours ago. So when these games are done, I think I'm going to go make myself a bowl of popcorn and watch the newest episode. I never read the books. My brother did, and he said that they're very good, and they get very ponderous towards the middle, and then they end pretty strong too. Which is, maybe it'll finally be encouragement for me to go read them. I've read a couple of those. I've read the Malazan Book of the Fallen, and that was extraordinarily ponderous, and took me like 2.5 years to get through. So, a new series is right up my alley. Oh, God. Okay, so let's draw a card. See, I'm starting to hate this already. There, an interns. Non-operation card from Archives or HQ, ignoring the install cost. Okay. Well, I may as well play the hedge. Oh, no, I may as well play sweeps while they've got lots of money, right? In turn, let's discard that, and let's discard the hedge fund, I think. I mean, I could interns the Jackson out, but man, that seems really silly. God, should I do that? Because, I feel like right now, all I need to do is, slap Sarugi on the table. Yeah, see, they're just popping Magnum Opus like crazy. And that's all they need to do, right? To be clear. The more money they have, the more difficult it is for me to score through the Caprice. That's the real game right now. Do I have a single Ash? I do have a single Ash. Getting a single Ash would be very nice. And so, I'm very tempted to use this on the J How in Server 1. Res him and pop him for 2 cards. End the turn. Discard down. I've got 2 Walls of Thorns. Let's discard a Lotus Field and one of my Walls of Thorns. And I guess I'm going to have to do an R&D and remote hell server. So let's res the pop-up window. Continue to pass. We'll res the pup. And the Caprice, we may as well. Indicates to fire unbroken subs, right? Yes, so we can pay the 2, right? Okay. Continue to pass ice. I guess I'll just pay 1. Seems reasonable for me. Oh, nice. Well, they got through. Do I want to shuffle anything away with this? Not really, no. I'll just shuffle my other Jackson in with this other Jackson. So, no further actions. We'll just lose those guys. Have to be more aggressive. I'll have to establish 2 from now on. Just start paying 2. I think 1 was a little greedy. Okay. Money, money, money. So we cannot score this right now, so I think what I will like to do is get the Wall of Thorns into play with an Enigma in front of it or something like that. We'll use the Sweeps Weeks. We'll play him in the server. But we play him in the server. I need his card draw chunking to get to my next Caprice. So maybe I need to do this a little more slowly.
Let's install the Sarugi. The Wall of Thorns is a little more taxing. So we'll pop him on server 1. And we will pop him in server 1. And if he wants to go trash him for that much money, I guess I'll be a little sad and shuffle my other Caprice and Jackson back in. Maybe? I don't know. I'm not feeling very happy right now. I don't think I'm playing this particularly well. I do now have a lot of money kind of invested in stopping him later. Draw, draw. Oh, apologies. Plug my phone in. Ah. That's why I play with my door closed. Because my cat pressing a draw card is exactly the kind of thing my cat Leia would do. She tries to jump from the table next to me that I play my board games and card games on, all the way to my windowsill, which is about, I don't know, how far is that? 5 feet away. Do I even res this? Do I spend 6 so that he has to spend... I don't even think this taxes him any of his real money. 1, 2, 3... 4, 5, 6, 7, 8? Yeah, that doesn't even tax him any real money. I'd rather him not even know what that is. Gotta say, I love the Wall of Thorns at 6 res cost. It feels a lot more reasonable. You may fire. Oh, whoops. Yeah, I'll take a hedge fund back. No further actions. I don't think a hedge fund's maybe necessarily the right thing to do. Ooh, discarded another stim hack? Yeah, I'd love to see that. Love to see a stim hack eat it. Okay. 2 more credits and a card discard. Discard a card. Alright, start turn. A snowflake. So I can pop that out in front of the Wall of Thorns, install, advance. And I think that the lady just got discarded. Is there only the one lady? There's probably a fem in hand to get through that. The fem in hand is definitely a big one. I don't think that quite taxes enough. There could be not, but I want to get this game going. Let's get this game going. Let's get the game moving along. The fem drops here. He's down to 9 credits. 1, 2, 3 to break, 1 to get through, 1, 2 to get through. We can steal it. 2 to bypass. How much did I just count out? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, no worries. Can pretty reliably get through that, but make him sweat it. Diesel. Test run. I should pay more attention to what this deck does. Test run, cost 2. And searches for the fem right there. Yeah. Where's the snowflake? Sure. Break it with your Gordian. At least tax you a little bit of money. And they will have the fem for later. Continue to pass. Do I res now to make them spend 2? And then remove the allure of what this could be? I don't think so. No further actions. Losing 2 Nisei Mark IIs is like super painful, and I think that I probably have landed myself in a bad position. I was thinking about this install costing 7 more credits. And thinking, oh yeah, well that's plenty of tax. Maybe I can power through it a bit. No. Not quite. Scavenge the fem to play the fem. On what this time? Yeah. Makes sense. So, can I get this scored now? How much will I need to actually... I would need to install this over one of these. because otherwise I'm paying an astronomical amount to install it. That would tax 4 off of the Gordian. 5, 6, no. 5, 6. But I need to spend 5, 11, 12. And then when I went to actually score this, I'd have under 5, so I would not gain my 7. So let's draw some cards. Let's draw some more cards. And let's gain a Credito. At least I can shove a Nisei in there now. And I might be able to just start attempting the score. Because this is the first time you encounter a piece of ice, it gains Code Gate for the remainder of the run. So if multiple runs need to start happening, she needs to get a Barrier Breaker out. And what would be really nice would be to trick her to get a Barrier Breaker out. And then just Nisei through it anyways. Because the lady only has, how many charges is it? 4 power counters, so she can only really run Snowflake a couple times between these two servers. Now granted, with Maker's Eyes and stuff like that, that might not be a big deal. Excuse me. Pass. Oh, do I pay 7 for this? I kind of feel like I have to just force a bunch of money to be spent. Whew. Wowee. What's the unbroken sub? If successful, trash a program? Is that going to go off? Mike, am I getting punked? What's happening here? Ugh. Brutal. Suppose he's probably still got the stim hack, or a third stim hack in hand. Is there a third stim hack in this deck? There is a third stim hack in this deck. So, another stim hack in hand is going to be a nice injection of credits. That was a very good rip. I think I kind of just have to rely on Caprice to let me score this. But I just need to jam stuff now while he has no money, right? Personal workshop, right. Makes sense. Makes sense. Advance, advance, advance. Score. And now let's get this one in through really quick as well. I wonder if I install the pup and then install advance. What does that do? That makes the snowball or the snowflake here active, which is just another side test to stop the run, which is a bit worse. Probably a stim hack in hand now. I don't know about probably, but the likelihood of the third stim hack being drawn is definitely getting
getting a lot higher. But I do wonder. Yeah, I do wonder if there's really a way for me to... Because if I get this end the run counter, that is a very different thing going on. But what are my other agendas to even score right now? I've got a fetal AI, and I've got a future perfect and a global food and another corporate war, right? Whoops. Oh, man. I'm going to keep forgetting that. So even if I score this, I still have to score a 5-3 or a 5-2, which is just awful. I don't want to have to do that. But the game is going to make me have to do that. So install advance. I could install the pup out front. Is this safe in hand is my question. And I don't really think it is. But the end the run token does make it a lot safer to score out the 5-3 when I get it. So, I think I'm going to go server 1, advance, trash the pup, install that in server 1. As absolutely as obscene as that is to do, but now the snowflake is actually a problem, right? I don't really have enough to resolve these and score this, so like the Wall of Thorns is a bit of a bluff. Yeah, I'll resist snowflake. That's fine. Continue to pass ice. Continue to encounter ice. 4 credits to break that. No further actions. And do I lose off of a good rip? No. The answer is no. It's good. I will want to protect this a little more. Don't want to use the Nisei to burn that, though, is the problem. I can fast track an agenda and add it to HQ at some point. He's going to have the Magnum Opus up active pretty soon, at which point he'll just be able to sit here clicking for credits again, which is a bummer. The fetal, what's the timing on fetal? When they access it, deal 2 net damage? Yeah, well, that's not going to kill him. What did he do? Got the Mopus into play and clicked for money? Makes sense. Draw. We'll do this. Get some cash. Restructure, and then, I don't know, install the toll booth here or something. Make it my outermost on the R&D so that he can't just do that again. 1, 2. The vamp is gone. Is there a single cheeky tinkering left? There is a single cheeky tinkering left. Is there more scavengings? There are more scavengings, so this guy can be used to do some scavenging nonsense.
My question now is, do I just bait some runs? That's probably my best bet, is to bait some runs. Try and burn that stim hack if at all possible. But a baited run with a Jackson's very welcome. I've only used the one Jackson. Do I have what do I have in the way of installable things that I can fake out? The Ash, the Jackson, and the Cyberdex Virus Suite. Well, the Virus Suite's already in the discard. And it doesn't actually do anything, it just kind of punks him, right? He does want to get a Breaker out soon. I guess Lady is the only... oh, right. Yes, he can just keep doing this, can't he? Okay, continue to pass. I forgot I wanted to make this more expensive. Or at least I wanted to make the Snowflake something he couldn't just walk through with the Cordian. Continue to encounter. And continue to pass. No further actions. Ugh. You rat. Okay. Do I have another interns in my deck? Let me check. I only have the one interns. I wonder if it's worthwhile to pop the Jackson now for the reshuffle of the Ash. I think I like that. Ash. Interns. Let's take the Cyberdex Virus Suite just to fuck with them a little bit. Future Perfect. Install Advance is the only play for that to get scored, so I do need to do something else in the meantime. Let's put this in front of R&D. Is there something more aggressive I can stall over the pop-up with? Well, I'd pay one and then I'd get the one back. Like, does that matter? It's a lot of money for him to scavenge this Fem, but it does mean the Wall of Thorns would be active if I do. So, I think this has to go on server 1. And I think I just have to gain a credit. And this is kind of risky now. But we do have the Future Perfect Psy game to fall back on in case he does go for this. The Scavenge, is it going on this one or is it going on this one? Let's see. On the Assassin. Okay. Okay. Continue pass. Ooh, that leaves him with exactly $2 to side game me if he hits this. Game reset to start of click. Continue to encounter ice. Fire Unbroken. Oh, we must have clicked end the run. I didn't realize what was going on. Continue to pass. Continue to encounter. Encounters it. Bypassing it. No further actions. Oh, unreal. Roll a d6. Well, probably silly. Alright, that's good. Start turn. The Wall of Thorns is no longer bypassed, and I don't think that he can really afford to do enough. I think. And then also actually contest the Caprice and the Nisei. And so there's like a little game going on here where the Nisei token is stopping a run here or here, and the Caprice is stopping a run here. So I think this is mine. I feel like this is mine, but I could be wrong. The nice thing is even if I don't res these, the Wall of Thorns is protected by the Snowflake, so it can stay a barrier. The pup is an easy way for me to trade $1 for 2 of his. Though at this point in the game, he's probably very happy to... Really? Oh, probably trying to grab the... Okay. Fire and Broken. Oh, he thinks I have the GFI in hand as well. Okay. Counter. No further actions. Tsurugi. Start turn. Start turn. Looking for that last makers. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah. All right. GG's. Those are good ones. Hopefully kind of showcased off how the rebalance kind of generally tweaks things a bit. Showed off some cool stuff. I really love the changes that were done for Nisei Division. But what I'm planning on doing is just playing a different pair of decks. Every time. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I'll report my corp split here, and I'll see you next week, which I'm probably going to end up publishing these like well after I've played them. Don't know why I made that comment about Wheel of Time earlier. But anyways, I'll see you next time.